Welcome to NSR Talks, and today we're going to be discussing why you need to master your mind before anything else. Now, we live in a society where a lot of people are under mind control, with the media, the news, the agendas that celebrities push, that the music pushes, that the higher ups, the people that run the world behind the scenes, they push all these agendas out into the world so that people can't think for themselves. And when you don't think for yourself, you're really not being authentic to who you really are. Like you start to fall under these illusions, thinking that you need to live a certain way, thinking that you need to make this certain money or you're not valid. And I feel like when you master your mind and you think for yourself, you really can live life free because you're not being weighed down by a bunch of agendas and illusions that the world tries to push on you. Because a lot of people don't have any self control. Don't have any. That's how a lot of people have kids that they don't like. That they're in relationships that they don't really that don't light them on fire. A lot of people are just shaving through life, just floating through life without any type of destination in sight. People are distracted by Netflix movies, uh, distracted by dramas and stuff like that, and just tuning into everybody else's life, and they literally neglect their own life, and then they wake up one day and they realize they didn't live. And it's a sad reality, but once you master your own mind and you're able to think for yourself, you're able to really see the world for what it is. And once you see stuff for what it is, like the Matrix, when you put on, when you take the red pill or whatever in the Matrix, you get to really see everything for what it is, and at that point you can make a decision. Do I want to stick to this program, or do I want to go my own way? And you always need to choose to go your own way, because your way is the way that's going to set you free, because only you know what you want. Nobody else knows what's in your mind but you. And when it comes to dreams and goals and things that you want to do in life, you really have to master your mind first, because you're going to get a lot of voices that tell you like you can't do it. You're going to get a lot of doubt that tells you, oh, I'm not good enough, whatever. But when you have mastery over your mind, you're able to push past that type of stuff. And when it comes to lust, hooking up, casual sex, and all this stuff, that's all weakness in your mind. That's all voices in your head telling you that to do this. And when you don't have mastery over your mind, that stuff can literally take over your mind, and then you'll end up in situations that you could have avoided if you would have just had mental clarity and mental discipline. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like as a man, we should just be building our empire. Like we should map out everything that we want in our life and have the courage and the mental fortitude to actually go after it, because it's not easy going after your goals. Things are not going to be smooth. You're going to have rocks in the road, bumps in the road that are going to push you off your path, but that's going to show who the real warriors are, the people that push past all the negativity, all the ridicule, all the people around them telling them they can't do it, all the self-doubts telling them they can't do it. Because people try to avoid things that are hard, but everything that you want is on the other side of fear. Because fear is normal in our society. They push fear everywhere in the media, the news, music, movies, all this stuff. They're pushing fear. They want people to just turn inward and not go after anything. They want people to not think for themselves. They want people to be reliant on the government. They want people to be reliant on other people. And when you do that, you have no sense of self. You have no sense of self mastery, no sense of independence. And when you're not independent, you're not able to really make decisions for yourself, because you always have to have a sign off on somebody else. Like, oh, should I do this? Or, oh, is it people are gonna like me if I do this? Who cares? Once you have self mastery and mental clarity, mental mastery, every decision you make is coming from a place of strength, because you know that, hey, I made this decision. This is my life. I lead my life. And I feel like everything starts in the mind. Everything that you do, it started as a thought. So if you're able to control your thoughts, you're able to control your life. So block out all the agendas and all the corruption that people are trying to push on you, and just think for yourself. Study things that you're interested in and learn stuff that you are interested in learning, and think for yourself. Don't let people push agendas on you. Because everything is not what it seems. You're the master of your life. You're the leader of your life. So wake up and lead your life every day. This has been NSR Talks. Thank you guys for coming through.